Okay. My bad, I was making myself a cup of tea. Alright. Whew. Been in kind of a rush, honestly. But that's alright. That's all good. Okay. Alright, I just need to get this on like one side. Like I figure out how to manage my like windows and stuff. OBS takes up a surprising amount of space. It's just like I have almost no real estate to work with. We just need to make everything like really big for no reason. That's fantastic. I love that. Hey, Speeve, hello, welcome. As you can see, there's a definitive upgrade over the last stream, and that there are people. The chat is like there, and thank God the chat's there, because previously it was yeah, I had to go live in order to actually figure out how to test chat. Thank you, YouTube, in your infinite wisdom. That's so great. I love going live and public when I have to test things out. But yeah, we are here and we are live and we're ready to get into it. So, without further ado, let me just cut right over. And hang on, is the stuff coming up? I don't think the stuff is coming up. That's fine. I'll just it needs to be larger, so got that there. It's just gonna go there. And maybe a little bit smaller. And then it's gone. And then it's here. And then it's gone again. Now it's here. Alright. That's good. That's a good amount of message that needs to be seen. Alright. Well, so what happened last time was we did this. And there is a whole like 6-hour thing that you can also sort of see. But if I just cut that to here and cut that there. What we got up to last time was we did a full blocking pass on this. And blocking is essentially sort of like, it's in stepped. So it'll look like it's sort of 2D, but also not really. And it looked like this. So that was a pretty fun 6 hours. It was mostly just working off of the layout that I did though. So I did the camera work before I did the animation, just so I could make sure the animation was fully synced up to it, and this was a surprisingly decent idea. What we're going to be doing is taking this and making it a lot smoother. So this is a part that is honestly kind of dreaded. It's taking this and then turning these things. So if I grab V1 here, what we got here are these like stepped keyframes. So they're snapping from pose to pose. So they're like boom, 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 like that. What spline is taking these and making so they don't snap and they sort of move from point A to point B, like this. So instead of snapping, it's it slides. And this is the part where everything usually falls apart. So this is gonna be an interesting time. But yeah, I hope you've all been doing okay. I hope you've had a lovely series of weeks. I couldn't actually sort of stream last week because I was up to other various things, like commitments and stuff that I had to sort of deal with. Desktop audio isn't coming through. It's because I don't have a desktop audio in here. Okay, okay. Where is it? Need that input, output capture, and then yeah, grab you. There we go. Let's bring it up. Got some little bit of background music. Got some beats. Some beats going on. But yeah, I hope you've all had a great series of days and or weeks. As soon as I said I was going to commit to doing this every single Saturday, there was a thing I had to commit to on the Saturday directly afterwards, so I had to change it to most Saturdays instead of every Saturday. But there's one thing I know that I need to fix up in the last stream. This sort of start point here, where V1 starts running, it's going to look really not great when I spline it, because I tried to do some sort of thing where they'd sort of stumble over their feet and sort of like run at this point, because I needed to get them from starting here to like jumping from this leg, kicking off with this leg, so it could sort of naturally slide into the slide there. And it looks fine here because you can't really see what's going on, but like when I did actually spline this during last stream, things went south pretty damn quickly. Like there's a I'm not entirely sure what's even happening there. Like, I like the movement through that. Like this sort of slidey thing through here is fantastic, but like where is the power coming from that? It's like it just kind of takes like one single step and then immediately we're into the leap. So I might actually need to time that out a bit more and be like, nah, whatever you thought you were going to do, you do not in fact do it. I need to give myself like some more space to make that look like it's going to have power behind it. Because that is just like, whoa, what is that? That's going to be an interesting challenge. Because if I space that out, I can possibly add like another step in. So it does look like there's some degree of... That does make sense that he suddenly leaps like that. Or I could... yeah, pull these out a bit more. Do a little bit of more of a run before we get into it. But let's see. Also, I just need to go in between these because like that does not look great. But this is where we get into the problem-solving aspect of it all. So I'm just going to try things and see what works and what don't. OBS has got a button saying go live, but I'm pretty sure I'm live, so I don't know what happened here. It's a great stream. When you first start running, kind of like pitching your entire weight forward, and then your feet kind of catch it as you fall. But I've also got this really nice like up through here from the body, like this slidey thing there looks really damn good. So I want to see how I can keep that whilst also making these leg movements make sense. They can't just go straight into the leap here. You can just pull it back. Try that. Fantastic thing about 3D animation, nothing is permanent. You can just change the timing on anything you want. And go, I actually want that to happen at that point in time. And it just works. The computer does most of the adjusting for you, so you just have to make sure the computer is correct and not silly. And, oh god! Okay, alright, we just needed to give space to make this look okay. So that is like, oh, no. Sorry, no. Actually, wait. Okay, so that is there. We put foot down here, and then because that's sliding, we might have enough space to put in another step. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. So if you go back here. We did watch the German tutorial I did genuinely decades ago. This is the point in time where we're going to start like switching up, pushing forward, or pushing back like that maybe? We actually won't have time to do like the full amount, so if I actually push that forward a little bit more and make that a pass there, then this is already amazing. Like, yeah, me when I go to the supermarket, I do my big steppy. I push back like that. Already looking kind of crazy. Pull that in a bit so that we've got good center of gravity here. That was the wrong one. Take you. You need to be fixed. Alright. And that, I'll just key that in so that we can keep that as it is. Because I don't want to really mess with the movement through there, because it's looking kind of nice. But I probably should... Ooh, no. Okay. Yeah, we'll need to redo these poses. That's fine, that's okay, that's expected with something like this. If I take this like a second forward, try to push in with the legs here. Change up how that works, because I could do something kind of cool with that. If I don't change up which leg is doing it. I could have like one of them sort of swing forward into the slide, which would look pretty good actually. It's fairly nice. We're just experimenting. Because we can. It's the best part. It's that. Just have these legs like swing forwards. Into that pretty much. Oh, these legs look strange. Okay. Never mind. I think that needs to happen faster. That looks very silly. I'm not... Oh dear. Yeah, no, the timing of that's all wrong. shouldn't be coming up just yet. So maybe I can make that a bit lower. I can sort of extend that and maybe push it out a bit more. So even following along the curve here, I just need to make sure it, yeah. We're not going down up just yet, but I think this part of the body, not that part, this part will be. So it's still following that curve that we've got. And I'm going to put in some more keys just to make sure that the movement makes sense. And that's pretty rough. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. That move's just too silly. That move is... Yeah, sorry, no. We're allowed to be silly in this world, I believe, but this is simply too silly, I think. I actually do need to pull that back. That be the contact there. Wait, hang on. There's something strange going on. That just kind of stops. Yeah. This foot's making things look strange. If I extend it out further at the start, or extend this further out at the start. Lose that step though. It just kind of makes sense for it to happen. It's just this don't make sense. No, not that. Not that way. Get back. Get back to where you started from. Go. Back in your hole. Might actually be referencing this. Hey, what's up? Hey Mason, how you doing? How's your day been? How's your night been? Whereabouts in the world are you? Like what's the time zone currently? It's going just okay over here. I'm doing some problem solving right now because I need to somehow get from starting a run here. I need to get from like somehow starting here and then getting into a point in time where like this body is like positioned to sort of jump into this leap here and have it actually look good. As you can see, there's some slight issues. You're in Oregon? That's awesome. I think that's possibly the first time you've ever heard that it's awesome that you live in Oregon, but that's because I'm Australian. And so like any place is good. What you been up to? How's your week been? Good. Okay. I think I'm kicking off the wrong foot. Oh, if I do that, I can actually just fix all of that and take out one of those steps entirely. Yeah, I'll just make it so that you don't need to see what happened in the scene before. No one needed to see that. We don't need continuity here. If I make this the leading one, so we're just pushing off with that one, and then we just do like a simple foot swap. So whatever position that foot was in is going to be that foot now. That one is going to be that foot now. I just need to redo that in a few of the other ones, and that that might give us a better start than what we currently have. We also need to bring into like what the body's doing here, because yeah, it's a good arc. So if I just do that and then wipe out what I did before, I might be able to get something. Okay. We might be getting... Ooh, hang on. I don't know for sure just yet, but this is looking slightly more promising. There's a bit of an ask. Have you considered the possibility of making Deadlock animations? Yes, I have. Look, I'm someone who's always been a bit dog shit with MOBAs. Deadlock is absolutely no exception. I can't play Deadlock. I genuinely can't. But I love everything about the world and the characters, and I'm also really good friends with Pybon, who is someone who is now completely obsessed with Deadlock. Pybon was one of the people I really looked up to when I first started animating. I was just like, damn, this person's like really cool, and now we're friends. But yeah, I am not great at Deadlock, but I love everything about the world and the characters, and the interactions are so perfect to be animated. Once I'm done with this project, I was actually thinking of going through and actually animating the voice lines, especially the interactions between the characters, because they are fantastic. Especially the new ones. Like, Graves' interactions with Infernus are a whole story arc. Like, you can just make an entire animated short just with those lines. And it would have like a full beginning, mid, end, like, it would be like an actual coherent story. It's like that step. That's not bad. Then if I kick that leg out in front and make that sort of like a really, really, really quick springboard kind of thing. Like that leg just comes down like that, so this is more like a subconscious kind of thing, where leg just kind of takes control of the body. In order to make sure that your body ends up in the right place at the right time, and to make sure that you can do things in certain places, the human legs just go kind of ultra instinct. You have an idea of making an animation about Celeste and Pyro hanging out because you know they'd be besties, but you have no idea how to animate it at all? Oh my god, they would be besties! No, that's actually a genius idea. Should be slightly off-put by their murderous tendencies. But considering a Kitsch is also kind of a psychopath. But that's a fantastic idea. Dude, I love the new characters. I love Celeste. Like, whatever brain genius at Valve, what their decision was, is just like, I'm going to make what is potentially the most beautiful woman ever. And then I'm going to give her a Coney Island Jersey accent. Like, oh my god. The world is not ready for this kind of brain. They're on some Ascendant stuff. I'm pretty sure they actually summoned a patron while they were making that game. Wait, no, I think this works. Wait, no, I think I got it. I mean, that looks weird as hell. But if I don't do that... Whoa. Okay, maybe... Timing on that's strange. Let's get it out of the way so I'm not affecting the motion. Yeah, I do not like that leg. But maybe. Because I start off in that pose anyway, so like we can actually just step out. Oh no wonder I'm missing an entire pose. What do you mean Saturday? Well, it's Saturday here. Hi Bonnie, how you doing? How's your day? How's your night? How's your place in the world? I know a lot of places in the world aren't great right now, but you know, I'm more talking like subjectively. Like how's your world particularly going? Like having a nice time? Yeah. That's why it looks so strange. It's because I've essentially just done the same pose twice, which is very, very silly. But yeah, it's Saturday because I'm in Australia right now. And over here it is Saturday. Actually, that might fix like everything. Genuinely, that might fix... Whoa, wait, hang on. Genuinely, that might fix everything. Yeah, now they're looking up with that one, so if I bring that in, then the one's going to be shooting upwards using the power from this leg. Like, just to launch like that. That looks... slightly that actually no that works. I like how far that leg comes out. Like it looks kind of silly and it's happening a bit too soon, so we'll actually just drag that out and make it so that the contact happens maybe there. Actually no, the contact is not happening there, the contact is happening there. Yeah, okay, alright. Woo! Well, we got something now. So the stupid. And then if I give that a little bit less juice, give a little bit more lag on it. So it's not really sort of a springboard per se, it's just a single leg push. Like there's two ways you can sort of do like a big jump. One way is to just push off with one particular leg, and that, like that's your sort of high-ish jump. Other way is just like use both legs. That's often the way that humans do it. But we can really just do whatever, honestly. So I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna bring that up, just so we've got a little bit more continuous motion. The poses look like they're kind of all happening at the same rate right now, which is why things look rather strange. So if I just add a little bit of variation, or a little bit of continuation of the motion, like that leg is kicked off from where it was. Oh, it doesn't even need to kick off, I can actually just do this. So the leg's kicked off. So it makes sense, instead of having the leg just sort of continue to hang in space like this, and then snap forward like that, it makes a lot more sense for that motion to be continuing upwards. Everything's always in motion. We want to try to keep things. Oh shit, really? Is it? Okay, cool. I'll turn down the music. Thank you for the heads up. Thanks, Mason. Yeah. This is not one of my, I have not been streaming for very long. I want to make this more of a consistent thing. So all feedback is very much appreciated. Because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Hell yeah, perfect. Okay, that's good. Yeah, alright, okay. No, I kind of like the way that that folds into it now. Because, like, the way that this body's moving is that V1's kind of falling into it and then serpentining up and then jumping up like that. So it makes sense to sort of have a bit of a slow bit here, and then as we're ramping up, the motion kind of speeds up, and then we leap. Like that. Vroom, vroom. Like it's slow. Boom. Like it's a continuous series of fast and slow. That's like how you make things look nice and appealing. But that's going to track really well for what we're doing here. And then, because that leg's in front, we can actually just go back to the original plan, which was having that leg sort of drift out. Because that one's going to hit the ground first. ULTRAKILL still in development. Again, it's supposed to have 3 parts. Yes, it is. It is still in development. They just released Fraud, like which is the 7th. It's the 8th layer of hell. There's going to be 9 layers of hell. So it's the full Dante's Inferno. And also, hi Pexel. Hey, what's up? How you doing? How's your day? How's your night? Where are you in the world? Is everything all G? Yes. Animation frames. Yes, 3D animation is advanced stop motion on a computer. Pretty much, yeah. It's sort of stop motion, but in between each frame, the computer makes up the difference. That's what these are. First timer here. No worries. Canada. Hell yes. Okay, so no wonder you care so much about animation. You're in like the animation capital of the world. It's always been Canada. Canada have always ruled over you. Everything you watched as a kid, Canada. Everything that's made, Canada. Trying to do your own like 3D furry anime type stuff? Hell yeah, dude. That's sick as hell. Make your dreams come true. Yeah. So essentially the thing about 3D animation is you can see these down here. Oh wait, hang on a sec. I just came up with something. These things down here are splines. And they essentially dictate the position. And if I go to like a space like this and move one of these, they dictate like the position and rotation of any of these objects, any of these bones and stuff in 3D space. God, okay, Blender was doing something there. I don't know what the hell just happened there. So if we look down here, we've got X, Y, and Z locations, and then X, Y, and Z rotations. And Blender also has its own little funny W because it ain't like the rest of these basic bitches. It's not like the other girls. So we gotta 3D animation is essentially that, but over time. So the sharper a movement happens, the more like drastically it's going to move over time. So I have one thing happening here, and then 3 frames later, I have like another movement here. Currently it's, if you can look at the, it's so it's there, and then it moves forward in space to there. Oh god, it's done this again. Oh god, no, do not disable all of my things. Why did you do this? Stop it! Stop it! Thank you. Oh, Blender sometimes is just like, I'd like to disable all of your things now. And you're like, okay, that's great. Do I have a choice in that? And it goes, no. You still love me though. But yeah, if I change up any of these or move this like further out, you can see that the position changes. And then you can change how it's moving from frame by essentially modifying these things, which is where a lot of the cleanup part comes from, because computers tend to get things wrong a lot. I'm not entirely sure why we didn't learn that lesson before we started developing artificial intelligence, but it does get like everything wrong. So you do need to go in and manually clean up and fix up things and refine and refine. It's, you know, it's like sculpting, sort of. Yeah. More of a dubstep fan than you are in animation, though. But you want to direct all the departments? Hell yes. Okay. All right. We love a generalist here. Hell of an embarking, though, because animation is extremely involved. It's not just animation. It's also modeling and rigging, and those are their own separate art forms, and they're crazy. Consider that sliding part akin to sort of like a glide note in a piano roll. That is an amazing way to put it. Honestly, yeah, you actually can consider it like that. That makes a ton of sense. That's really cool. One animated to another, what are your thoughts on Golden Diamond retiring from animation? I don't... Is he a Minecraft animator? I don't actually... Maybe I'm not caught up in this scene anymore. I'm not sure. People are retiring already, man. That's not looking too bad. I'm going to take that. But I am going to do something with this hand, because I don't like how it's just sort of hanging in space. Like, you got to have a little bit of weight to it. A lot closer to voice direction and perhaps music cultivation, along with some very, very rough sketches on traditional. Okay, okay. Well, if you know how to draw, you're good for, like, so much of the process. If you know how to draw and enjoy drawing, you are so set, it's unbelievable. Like, a lot of things are still geared very much towards, like, 2D. And there's still a lot of 2D in the process, especially when it comes to things like character design. Was a FNAF animator. He also made that one fan modeled the prototype from Poppy Playtime. Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah. I'm not actually too familiar with, like, the FNAF scene. But I do have respect for them, because it's like, damn. The amount of, like, animated music videos and stuff that have come out of, like, Five Nights at Freddy's is genuinely really impressive. Yeah, if I do that, that arm swing forward like that, and then we can actually pull it back. Oh. Maybe we don't even do that. We can actually just pull that forward. Because that's actually... Oh, no, we can't. So maybe I need to sort of swing that arm, like, into there. Normally with running stuff, you want to make sure that you don't... People cannot run with... People can't run like that. They do not... They run, like, diametric opposite, so... That, like, yeah. If you run with your arms and your legs on the same side, Try doing that. Try doing that. Just try it. Humor me a little bit. See how easy it is. It's really not. It feels unnatural and strange. Maybe I actually can just swing the arm up and then just kind of go into that up pose. I like that a lot. Works. And so you know how to draw, you just do some very bizarre sketches and also hammer out some like weird self-portraits. Okay, heck yeah. And the Madman's back and forth sketch style. That's sick though. Like, it's having like an artist practice like that is awesome. Not just like doing like what everyone else is doing. Logo mock-ups. Logo mock-ups. Good. Okay, so you got like graphic design on your back burner as well, so that's like vector knowledge and stuff. That's good stuff. That'll take you real far, actually. Develop some skills to help in commissioning. Oh my god, I wish more people were like you. I wish more people like had like that level of like self-direction and they weren't just like, I don't know, it just needs to be better. I don't know what needs to happen to it. Just make it better. Yeah. Source Filmmaker is a foundational animation software. Yes. Yes, it is. That's actually where I got my start. That's how I actually learned how to 3D animate. I actually think it is probably one of the best softwares to learn how to do 3D animation in, because you don't need to focus on the rest of the process. You just can focus on the animation. And it's surprisingly good for an animation software. Doc Poverty, sorry, I'm lagging behind in terms of catching up on stuff. I get caught up in shit. ULTRAKILL animations are so cool. They're mostly the 1v1 fights, so many arena fights. I know! I know what you're talking about! That's like one of the reasons I wanted to do this, is because arena fights are kind of the bread and butter of it, and it's also where you get to see like V1 really go full stylish with the kills and stuff. Which is exactly why I wanted to do it. I'm not going to spoil about what happens in the later part of this though, but I did want to have a mob fight, because there's almost no mob fights in ULTRAKILL animations, because it's a lot easier to not do mob fights. Alright, that's... Okay, alright. Do I like what's happening with that head there? Let me get closer. Let me get that out of there. Ooh! Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, more like doing fun stuff about designing logos based on those old 3D logos. Yes! If we're talking like in the Bryce 3D era of 3D, like in the early 2000s, dude, that is my absolute, I'm a slut for that, I ain't gonna lie. That stuff is crazy. If I ever do like a rebrand, and I'm thinking of doing like one, it's gonna be something that's like themed along those lines. Oh, I believe I'm getting, I think that's correct. Firepower Records. Let me just check to see if I actually got that correct. Ooh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, damn, that's some cool stuff. Really, really dubsteppy. Describe your like goals as fan fiction with too much thought put into it. That's fantastic, though. A lot of fan fiction has like so much thought put into it. Thank God I'm out of my archive. I'm out of my AO3 era. I don't think I even got to AO3. I think I was on fanfiction.net. I'm ancient, dude. I don't know how I'm alive and functioning. I don't know how I've got functioning body parts at this point in time. Don't know when the dementia's gonna start to kick in. But yeah, if I hit that right about there, yes, okay. So I'm kind of happy with how that looks. So I'm happy to call that, like, honestly almost final. Except for a few. I'll go through a polish pass, but like, you know, just to keep things moving. Don't want to get bogged down on every little thing, because it's so easy to do that in animation. And just to make sure that I've got everything and nothing goes wrong, I'll just select the main bones that I desperately need to stay still. And then key these in. Just to make sure that every single bone has a key at the point where I need it to have it. To stop lately, I take way too long to finish my drawings due to procrastination. Yes, dude, same. Procrastination is nasty, and honestly the solution to it is really just to force yourself to get started, because you do these things for a reason. You do these things because you love them. Whether you realize it or not, whether you've forgotten about it or not, you do it because there's a draw about it that just kind of keeps pulling you back. You just need to get through the first 10 minutes to rediscover what that draw is. Like, it'll happen. If you're overloading the chat, no, don't worry about it. It's really nice to talk with you guys. It's really nice to talk with you, Pexel. I'm glad you're having a nice time. Wish more people talked about Gloomwood. I need to play Gloomwood. I've never been like big on stealth games, but I think that's just because I'm weak and cringe. Alright. So I'm gonna hit these into Spline and hopefully things will go correct. They often don't. That looks... Actually, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. The thing that's going to be annoying though is that is gonna... I'm gonna need to sort of do like some kind of thing where after everyone hits the ground, then you just sort of bounce up a bit, which I sort of did in that key there, but because there's so much space there, they're going to just very slowly float to the ground over the course of like that many frames. I'll show you what I mean by that. If I just select the right things, I need to add these to the selection thing. I need to give myself a new selection set down here. Then hit that, and then hit that, and then hit that. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah. I draw the most to help with my studies, was understanding anatomy more deeply for exams. You're doing exams and stuff? Okay. But yes, anatomy is like so important, and it's also very easy to get caught up into its stuff, but you might also be procrastinating because you think you're only supposed to be doing like studies. Like, it's good to do studies and things, but like that's not the be all and end all of art. Actually, if we're putting a key there, they're gonna hold in space, but I don't want to demonstrate that. I want to demonstrate this. So I'll grab that one there. Is that it? That's it. If I set that to Bezier, yeah, they just kind of slowly float down. But if I do this and go like right at the apex there, you're gonna stay up a bit more. Then it's gonna be a lot more of a boom, boom kind of thing. Not bad. Okay. That's what 2D anime look like at 3D renders. Yes, true. A lot of like 3D anime stuff is like dedicated towards making it look as 2D as possible. But like, man, we could do better. We could go so much further. We could really like lean into the actual style of what 3D is. I think it's the reason why I like the Lupin movie so much. Like the 3D animated Lupin is perfect. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous film. Looks like it was animated by Illumination. It's actually crazy. You're making an original Air Gear, like, fanfic thing? Okay, that's kind of sick. You're real for that. 60 separate projects! Okay, yeah, you gotta calm that down. I don't know if you can do that. I mean, you're just mortal. The one thing we do have to realize is that we're just mortal. ULTRAKILL movie when? Honestly, if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be Ichalor, and it's gonna be out in like the next 5 weeks or something like that. If there's one person who is absolutely crazy enough in the ULTRAKILL animation space to just decide to make a whole like ULTRAKILL like a motion picture, it's Ichalor. Also, I'm pretty sure that's what ULTRAKILL Reimagined is supposed to be. Damn, I only got one project and I'm overwhelmed. I mean... I'm not gonna say how long I've been working on this, but it's been a while. I only started streaming because I finally got like this scene into a point where it's like, right, okay, I can show you guys this. But all the stuff that happens after this I've been working on. I can't show anyone. But that's taken me way too long. Like, just way too long. Like, it's almost inexcusable how slow I've been. Which is why I wanted to be a little bit more transparent about things. Right, so that... Is that actually... Yeah, that is. Okay. So I'll just... I'm not sure why I did that. These... So I got the full set. Then I'll just start keying these in. And we'll just get right up to the punch here. Oh, yeah. If you don't know what the rest of this thing looks like, hang on. I'll just give you a bit of a demonstration about what we're doing. So all that step stuff is what we did like what we did last stream. And now we're going through and making it all smooth. Like this. All smooth. That's actually kind of hypnotic. I'm really glad I got like the decision-making process behind that on camera, because animation is full of things like that. Oh god, leg! What are you doing? Oh! No, I need to fix that. B-Stars is the pinnacle of the hybrid. 2.5D is the key. Yes, agree. Also, Trigun. And anything Studio Orange do, which is also B-Stars. But, like, especially recently, the 3D animated Trigun is perfect. I make a very, very extremely blatant reference to it in one of the later parts. Because it was a moment that completely solved like a question I was having about like how I was going to get a certain bit of choreography to flow. And the answer was completely copying Trigun Stampede. Okay, if I do that, then... Okay. Don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. Oh my god. Cycling through ideas very quickly to keep it fresh. Yeah, ADHD mind is like difficult. I have been trying to keep myself focused on this, and I think that's where some of my burnout actually did come from. Because there's... If you have like a brilliant idea, or just like I want to do this, and then your brain goes, no, you must do this thing instead. It's very common for the brain to go like, oh, but I wanted to do this. And then you just like don't really feel like doing anything in that case. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it so that when this leg hits the ground there, there's a bit of like a skid or a bit of a bounce and stuff. So that'll sort of come up like that and then fall back down. Sort of like that, but like, the wave is weird, so I'll make it jump forward a bit. Or I'll pull it back, because it's hitting the ground with a degree of force here, and then the friction is sort of pulling it back. And then we can sort of have it go forward a little bit, and then come back naturally down like that. Maybe make it skid a little bit. Doc, you're working on a whole world with evolutionary history. Culture and regular history of the sapient alien life that develops. Yes! Yes! Go into detail. Make that world your own. That is so cool. Alright, yeah. That's gonna hit and that's gonna skid up. Maybe not too excessively, because I still want that shape to be there. And that's gonna come up and then out a bit. And then that's gonna go fall in, possibly before that leg hits the ground. No, that happens too slowly. There we go. That'll work. Yeah, there we go. Clunk. And then just for the sake of it, I'm gonna make it so a little bit of friction brings the leg back, and then V1 just snaps it back into place like that. Yes! It actually worked kind of well. Liminal photography with film on my phone. This would help visualizing scenes, turns where to set up a camera. Good idea. Good idea. Redo of Healer sequel series! Brother, are you sure? Brother, I don't know about that. Alright, okay. No, it's 2026. We do what we can in this world. Is that good? There's some little leg snap going on that I'm not entirely sure about. It's you. No, you don't get to snap out. You don't get to crash out. You get to do that, and then that pushes back in, and then we push out. It makes it a lot more subtle. I don't mind how the rest of that's looking, actually. I like the fact that this sort of gets... This lands here. Actually, I'll make it land like further so that the pull out is like more obvious. So that lands there, and then hand just snaps out. Because it's being pulled along by the ground. And why not? You also get to go off the ground for a little bit. You get a little bit of airtime as a treat. I'll make it so that that follows that up back through there, and then it comes back there, and then we land. Like that. Too much might be good to cycle between variety fantasy and expected. Yes. Yeah, you don't want to get bogged down by doing just one thing too much. Like, it's important to keep things fresh, otherwise the desire to actually do them kinda can slip. Unfortunate side effect, but yeah. Built around the idea of showing how the world at the top to bottom are pretty much the same. Okay. All right. That's a actually fairly inventive concept. Yeah. Contemporary times, but after Y2K. Hell yeah! That's such a fascinating area that I don't think people like really explore these days. Because people did genuinely think the world was going to end. Like planes crashing out of the sky and things. Because computers physically couldn't figure out like what a 2000 was. And aliens had their big second war, they used napalm. Ooh, okay. They just figured it the brainwashed. Gothic concrete and brutalist architecture. Fuck yeah. That's a vibe. My bad. Sorry if I'm like lagging behind in terms of like replies and stuff. I think there's also a little bit of a lagging point. I think it's around about maybe 20 or so seconds between when I actually see a message and can reply to it. It's not truly intelligent, just following its directives. That's an extremely accurate way of doing AI, because AI is not intelligent. But everyone believing that it is fantastic. Because, yeah, that's basically what's happening now. Alright, if I go Bezier, is that going to ruin everything? No. I think I might actually be able to get away with a very slow rise in the head. Just because that there, if I go into this to illustrate it more, like following along the motions of the head here, like that looks pretty good in terms of overall physics. So if I go like a slow rise like that, that looks good. Just need to work on that hand now. Because everything else in the body's moving, but this hand is just like, you know, locked completely straight, like straight ahead. Laser focused. Which is cool, but that's not how it's supposed to be. So let's figure out what's going on with this hand. Hand's sort of coming down like that, and then I think it'll probably continue going down that way, so we'll bring it back like that. Have I got it at that stage? I do. Okay. Let's make it so it's still kind of on its way down. Kind of falling, and then it sort of is lagging behind the rest of the body a bit because that energy is still traveling through the body to get to that point. And then it starts to come down a bit faster because it can now. And then I think I'll just do a simple flick. A simple flick is just kind of this. After that's been done, then all you gotta do is bring this down. They got that motion continuing there. And normally if it's like a fast movement, you want it so the hand is like lagging behind because the arm has moved, but the hand kind of hasn't in space just yet. Then when the arm stops moving, that energy travels through to the hand, and then that comes down, and then that comes up. It's sort of like the recovery pose for it, and then the hand rights itself. That's all through the Pybro. That was basically the only animation trick I knew when I did the Pybro, so it's... the entire short just looks like that. But because this isn't that much of a fast motion, I'll make it so the energy sort of comes through there. And then we'll just have a bit of a recovery raise. With the pistol kind of down, arms moving up, but hasn't reached the hand yet. And then that's come up like that. Okay. See that in action. Oh, I completely forgot about the... Oh, that's a really big snap. Oof, okay. Alright, so that recovery's got to happen a lot sooner. Ooh, actually, that's kind of cool. I like the waveform in it. Actually, no, never mind, I don't. Okay, that comes down too much. You need to go back up. And then that, we'll just kind of go there. And that'll recover like down from there and then back up. Now that kind of like seems like it stops in space because it swings down like that, but it shouldn't. So I'll do this instead. Energy's like really lagging behind there. Rest of the body's falling. The hand hasn't caught up yet. That comes down. That should actually happen a lot faster. Yeah. All the energy's coming through there. That comes down like that. Then that hand recovers quicker. The arm recovers quicker, but the hand is still lagging behind. And then that will give us everything we need. There we go. Boom. Like that. Not bad. Maybe you can toss some coins up in the air whilst priming the marksman. That happens pretty soon. So, as soon as this parry happens, on the recovery from the jump, that's a coin. So the marksman stuff happens pretty much here. So we get 2 headshots, then a fistful of $1, then a split shot, then a dash, double coin, split shot, and then we dive into the next shot. I kind of like it being too fast of a flick though, because the hand is like got a lot of tension in it, so it makes sense for something. If like you're trying to keep your hand still, like it's going to be affected by forces, but you still kind of want it to be like completely locked in and still. And that's kind of what that looks like. So I'm kind of good with that. What I can do for this part here is I can maybe start priming the... because that's going to happen really, really quickly. That's like a snap into that. So if I pull those back, maybe that'll work better. No, that's a selected one. Blender, can you please give me the selection I want? Thank you. All right. Because what kind of happens here is, I got it so this leg comes up, like it's sort of pushes against the slide and the friction, and then we kind of use that leg as leverage to sort of do the leap up. What did I actually change here? What are you? And why can't I move this one? Whose mans is this? What are you? It disabled another one of the... Why? Thank you, Blender. Thank you, Blender. Very cool. Alright, I guess I have to undo that and... Why are you like this? What are you? What even are you? Okay, good, okay. Yeah, it's that one. And then I think I kind of had a... What is that? It's just a hold for no reason. Why'd you put that in there? I think I can actually just skip that by just doing that. Then that'll cause that. Oh, that's what that is. Oh. I only have that one selected, of course. Okay. Right. You... Whatever you're doing, stop it. It's bad and dumb. Come back to life. Oh no. Seriously though, what are you? Which one of these has been locked? Okay, stop it. It's the scale ones? Why? Is it all of... Okay, it's not all of them. Sometimes I just wish I could go back to the Source Filmmaker's graph editor or like Maya's graph editor because, oh god, it's so much better. And it's hilarious that I'm saying that because it's Source Filmmaker. See a little bounce there, and there's some sparks to make it almost feel like V1 caught it with their heel. Yes, that's going to be part of the plan with the VFX. Yeah, if I just push that forward, then yeah, that's probably going to give me enough space, I think. Silas.tv. Goofcat, hello! Welcome! Yes! This is TTMR, and we're animating the... We're doing this right now. We're in the silo, and we're doing this. Have a look, my friend. This is what we've done. And we will continue to do it. So I'll make a mod for Blender that replicates that editor. Yes, I really, really hope so. I missed the fact that I could just click on a single, like, one of these values and it would isolate. It would completely isolate it instead of just kind of highlighting it. Because it's like, I already know what it is. I know where it is. I don't need it highlighted. I need to do things with it. I need to be able to select it without selecting everything else. I haven't really got that. I have to go through and like be like, no, I want to hide all these first. And it's just like, just let me click on that thing. I know someone did a mod for Blender that essentially replicated the motion editor, which is one of the most useful tools ever. And you will discover it's one of the most useful tools ever after you've used it and then use literally any other 3D program. The ability to just kind of like move things in 3D space without affecting keyframes and things, huge. Actually huge. And it's in the free game engine software. Shit's crazy. Alright, let's actually get back to it. Pretty sure I've got everything keyed there. Is there anything secret? There is things that are secret. Oh dear. Alright, so I need that. So I'll just make sure I've got just the ones I need selected so I'm dealing with like a ton of keys on various little things. Not sure if I've done this already, but I'll go back through and do it again. Just to make sure I've got keys on all these, so nothing's going to slip through the cracks. Just direct animation. Want to focus on music sync for combat scenes. Yes! I was gonna do it with this one, but like, I'm so far behind on the music production for this. I want to produce like my own thing, but like, it's not gonna be as synced up as I was hoping. So now we're going through and we're just setting all these to spline and we're just seeing what happened and if there's anything we can do to improve. So far, I kind of like how that's moving through the... Like, it's actually interpreting the difference between the poses well enough. And then there's... And because it's 3D, it's gonna do things like that. Where yeah, this is definitely where I wanted it to go. It will always try to do things in like straight lines. Sometimes you really don't need things to go in straight lines though, because it just kind of forces things like way too close together. It just kind of turns everyone into a chicken. The default Gib is here. Hello, hello. Am I know who you are. I know who you are, Vertigo. You cannot hide from me. Good to see the gang. These are some of my other source filmmaker people. Okay. There's a weird pause there. What's going on there? What? Oh, because I forgot to spline these. What's wrong with you? There we go. Yeah. Okay. Kind of like that pause. It doesn't make sense in physics, but I kind of like the pause there. It's like... Yeah. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. This might be faster than I think. Hey, yo! Okay. Sometimes you don't even need to do adjustments. Sometimes the spline just works. And here I think it's just kind of worked, except for the fact that V1 loses their hand. Like, what? Where? It don't do that. It don't do that. You're not Rayman. Stop it. Go back. Like using licensed music to the maximum. Oh, yeah, me too. At least I'd like to. Unfortunately, it's licensed, which means it's extremely difficult to make money. I'm not expecting to make money on like any of these streams. I'm just doing this because I can and I want to. So I do not care about the music that's playing in the background, but I immediately get a ton of copyright strikes the second anything ends. All right, that's gotta swoosh down like that. I think we can keep that leg there so it doesn't sort of... Yeah, it'll intercept with something else if we don't. I don't actually mind how that is moving. I mind how that's moving. It's being a bit silly. What are you doing? Oh my god. Yes, the YouTube emotes. Why is there a dab one? Why is there a dab one? YouTube, why? Don't. I'll play copyrighted music without copyright strikes because audio tracks in OBS. Ah, true, I can. Yeah, I'll just have to play a whole bunch of generic lo-fi stuff at you. But I like the vibe, you know? If I am going to use like proper licensed music, which this isn't, but I do want to, I mean, at some point in time I'm just going to do a stream where I just listen to Pitbull. It's just Pitbull. I'm going to raise that up. And then crash that down like that. That's gonna go gunk like that. Or to kind of junk back a bit. Like that. Ooh! That actually kind of works. Wait, no, that's actually... I wasn't expecting that to actually work well as anticipation, but if you look in like the playback, like that gives just enough of a hint to the audience, just like, oh, this is what's happening now. Was not expecting that to work. Yeah, loving the fully sickened epic YouTube emotes. Yeah. Obscure records people aren't going to recognize. That's what I thought I was doing as well. And then they all got recognized. Man, I just wanna listen to my like cybercore jungle D&B. Like, come on. I want to have those epic Fruitiger Aero vibes. But I can't even have this. No expense spared to get real basshead music on the soundtrack. Yes. Actually, there's like Monster Cat have a thing where you can just get all of their music completely royalty free if you just have like their funny little subscription service. I think that's what one of the other animators on YouTube, this guy who like did his own animated series called Skifters, he did that. Skifters is incredible, by the way. If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. He did it basically in Maya's like default render viewport because all the characters are like block shapes, and it's fantastic. It's like some proper like Trigger style animation. Like, it's just gorgeous to look at. They're also a massive rev head, which is really funny. Mr. Worldwide! No one expects him. No one expects him to ever come back. But he come back, and he do. Because you can't take the bull out of the pen. Just there's something about Pitbull, man. It's just... I used to hate him when I was a cringe Reddit kid. Nowadays, I've just gone in the complete opposite direction. You just listen to him talk, and he just talks like his lyrics. I don't think he even like puts any effort towards writing his lyrics. I think he just speaks and goes like, yeah, that'll make a good one. I'm gonna get Shakira on that one. Yeah. Ooh, I actually really like the kind of strange approach to squash and stretch we've got with that leg there, even though that coming up like that should not be in that position. Like, that just doesn't make any sense that it would be that far up at that point in time. Like, everything's got to move in a circle. So it makes more sense if that comes up and then that's naturally tracking itself. Whereas before, it was like up here, which meant it was moving like completely robotically. Like it was going zzzzt, zzzzt. But like the second you put it down here, track it back a bit like that, now it's following in much more of a natural motion. It's sort of traveling in a nice circular way. And people like circles. It's always best to go towards shapes like that in how things are moving in animation. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay. Actually didn't need to do much adjustment there at all. Let's see how the hands are looking. Do they suck? Oh yeah, never mind, I do. I like the leap up there, and then that's good. Does that pull out too much though? Maybe I can pull that back. And then I desperately need to fix that, because I don't know what the hell's happening now. Yeah, that goes out. So it comes back. And this, because this is punch. Incredibly effective punch here. To get the real hit on your enemy, make sure you first dislocate all of your arms. Make sure you eat your arm. Make sure arms just gone. They will become stronger if you remove all of the ways for them to become stronger. There we go, there we go. Okay. It's working better. What the hell? Okay, never mind. That's not working better. Alright, so that does need to get back into that position. But before that, just kind of have it lift up naturally, I think. No urgency, no need to sort of like really, yeah, sort of swings around like that. It's still very much telegraphed to like the audience that this is big punch. Big punch is what we want. Cool, okay. I could do some little like, you know, jiggly thingies in the slide and stuff, but I kind of can't be asked. So I'm gonna just keep moving. Gonna go straight into that, and then that's gonna be fun to clean up. That's a bigger gap, so we'll see how that goes. I'll get what I need to get. That could stay the way it is. I don't think we need to sort of change that from steps, because that is essentially sort of like the hit stop. Because you gotta have that. It's like integral to the DNA. ULTRAKILL's all about style. You gotta be stylish with it. Thank you, please give me what I want. There we go. This looks so complex. Yeah, that's primarily just how it works. 3D animation isn't too bad, it's the everything else around it. Once you get like the basics down, or just the general idea of how it works, then it's all good. But like, oh man, before that, everyone who was coming from Source Filmmaker, they were spoiled by Source Filmmaker. It was like the easiest possible way to get into animation. Yeah, that's... Oh. Okay, actually, no, never mind. That, I can see it, But yeah, Red Diamond, how you doing? How you going? How's your day, night? How's your day going? How's your night going? Apologies, things are weird. Look, I started the stream late. I need to have a shower. I was making tea. I don't know, man. It's been an interesting time. Yeah. It's the fact the body doesn't move that much in that point in time. So it just goes and it's not natural. I can probably best illustrate that by doing this. If I get a motion path for this. Motion paths. Really helpful. Really good. Yeah, so you can see like this is a little like the space in between, which is kind of, it's not moving the way it should. Like it goes really fast to here, and then not very fast at all, and then like not fast enough there. So what I can probably do is this. Give me the correct one. Thank you. I can just slide that out. Make that a little bit. Kind of glidey. You can fix that by possibly bringing that back, but that's going to make the rest of that faster. So I might need to put in a hold or something. How does one get good in animating? Lots and lots of practice, mostly. It's one of those things you just kind of have to keep doing, even if you really like aren't sure how to do it. But if you have like some inkling of an idea of like what you want to make and what you want to do, it becomes a lot more simple. Why are you doing that? Oh, it's this. Do you have like the right thing there? No. Okay. No, you stop that. You go there. But actually, yeah, I don't know how to actually answer that question. I mostly just, like, kept doing it. But I also paid attention to, like, the world around me. Animation is mostly observation. You're creating the illusion of life. So it is important to actually look at the life around you and look at how you move through space and how, like, the rest of the world moves through space. And that'll give you, like, clues on how to actually do it properly. I'll make that linear. Is that gonna make things easier? No, it's not. Like, don't move at all after that. Oh, okay. No. Like, even here, I've, like, noticed, even if it's just a little bit, it still like feels a bit unnatural that like this happened so fast and then so slow. That's just from like doing this for a while. That's just from observation. And also, if I physically did it myself, I would not be able to actually pull it off. Yeah, maybe that is... Oh yeah, okay. That's happening way too... Alright. If I take that back... So it's a little bit more consistent with the lines and the timing. Like each frame I can see that there's a point in time where it kind of slows down then speeds up again. I'm trying to reduce that as much as possible to make it look kind of smooth. Yeah, man, I don't know about that. Whatever you're doing, stop it. Oh, no, that I need that. I can possibly move that further. I wanted to do a thing where it's just like, oh, it's kind of like does this thing where you hang in space and then you fall into it, but I don't know if I can do that. Actually, maybe I can do that, because I actually, looking at that, it's significantly easier to telegraph that's punch, and then we fall back into it there. But that movement there needs to be way faster. So maybe if I do that and select everything, just to make sure I don't have anything like it's going to be in like different positions and different times. How long does it usually take to animate a second? That honestly depends on how complex the second is. But on average, if you're like going from just absolute nothing to something, animating a second can be anywhere between about like 30 minutes to an hour, or up to like, you know, multiple hours, 3-4 hours, depending on like what's happening and how much detail you want to put into the movement. If you don't care and you're just doing it for like, you know, the funsies, then it don't actually take that long. But if you're doing something professional, seconds can be like weeks. Especially if the rig is like really complex. Like if you're working with something like that octopus from Finding Dory, where there's just way too many controls everywhere, yeah, you're looking at weeks to months. Like there's one sequence in that film that took 2 years to animate. Okay, all right. I kind of like how that's sort of moving. So, okay, so the slide across there is obvious and silly, but it's sort of distracted by the fact that this leg is sort of dragging itself across and kicking itself out to sort of be the thing that sort of allows everyone to catch themselves and push themselves into this. What I will do here is just to make sure that things aren't sliding all over the place, because they will do that. If I were to do this right now, it's going to immediately try to slide into this next pose, which is a little bit more dynamic. So it's gonna look like, no, that's not how you jump. Behold, human jumping. Yeah. Just kind of slide into pose like you're in an episode of VeggieTales. No, what you do is this. We got that all sorted? Okay, we're gonna make that pose last longer. We're gonna pause on that, possibly do a little bit of a springboard thing, and then we're gonna boom, go straight into it. Slow, fast, you know, power. We get the power on and then we go. And I've got everything I need there, so I'll just make sure that it can get difficult when everything you are trying to animate doesn't have keys on the same thing, which can cause issues like if I were to remove, say, that one, and then try to sort of get all these to be smooth. What's going to happen is this. Like that's all going to work, but then what is my man's doing? Why he looking up? Why he doing that? When you go back to like how it actually looked before in Stepped. Ah, damn. Never mind. Actually, it doesn't kind of do that, but on the most part, because this is like something that's locked in space when it is like in a stepped form, you want to make sure everything has like keys at the same point, so that the pose will always look exactly like this at any point in time, and there's no like there's no difference. I need to find a better example of that, because that tilt through there is like really important. But if you just want something to sort of like stay still, like maybe that one? Yeah, it's going to be trying to continue its motion from here to here, which is a lot more extreme. Actually, if I do that like that, this will illustrate it. So we've got a sick pose here, then we've got a really cool pose here, and then there's that obviously. But if we tried to smooth this out in Spline, there's going to be an unfortunate situation involving neck. Because that's going to look so good, and then we're going to go to the next pose, and then... Oh no, it's already started to happen. Because this isn't where it should be. It isn't in its locked position anymore. And it's instead trying to transition to this one right here. So you gotta make sure everything's got keys on the right point. Else things go bad very quickly in this. Where'd you get the models for the characters and the maps? I got these characters, these are the ULTRAKILL models, so they're actually just from the game. Modified very slightly, I think I like gave them a few rigs and things like that. But they were ripped from the game by Sparky, who is the co-director of what we're making here. And I gotta thank him for that. So the models, weapons, everything like that, that's all there. The textures are all from ULTRAKILL as well. This is a custom environment that I built. So the first part of this short is going to be taking place in the last layer, and it's taking place in essentially like an abandoned mall, because I thought that'd be cool. So everything's all like shut up, everything's all broken and stuff. But it's like very, very, very like 80s strip mall. Like these are supposed to be water features and things. They're obviously non-functional, but there will be like, you know, water stuff, which is fun. And then there's a big elevator that goes up, and then there's a really big building that we end up at the top of. And then that's what I can say. But that was all a custom model. So yeah, learning animation is interesting. But you also have to learn a lot of other things at the same time. Like, it's not just animation. In 3D, it's also going to be things involving 3D modeling, involving actually creating like 3D things, involving like giving them skeletons and then assigning those skeletons to the models and painting it all out, and that is agony. And then there's all the other sort of stuff like, you know, VFX and particles and things that I am not experienced at all, which is probably going to be fun to watch. But this is the stuff that I do know, so we're just doing that for now. Go through those. Since we've got all that sorted, we can now go through and set these to Bezier. And already I've noticed there's gonna be some issues. There's a few of these that don't have keys, which means that there's gonna be some weird and unintentional movements. So I gotta take that back and go through and make sure I've got only the ones I need selected, which is that one, that one, that one, and that one. I'm using a selection set, which means I don't have to select like everything every single time. It is a lifesaver. I can just assign bones to a thing and go, I want these ones, and it goes, yes. So I'll just do some keys on all these, because why not? And that's going to be the range we're working with. Sup people, sup Voltage! How you doing? How's things going? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? We are currently going through the step to spline bit of this. So you were there for the last stream. You saw that we did like all the steppy stuff through here. Now we're making it smooth. And so far what we got is this. Actually, I should really go back and fix that up. Like, I need to make sure that sort of squooshes in a bit more and then pushes forward like that. Oh, that's got to be so much faster. Wait, hang on. That's bad. And then we push in like that. Okay, all right. We got all this momentum coming in through here. So what we gonna do? Okay, Walter. Here's what you're gonna do. When you got all that force coming in, that force gotta go somewhere. So we gotta pull this back out. We gotta go like that. A lot of things coming in through there. Not sure if you can keep that the way it used to be, but you can keep it. Things coming in, that's gonna swing across. It's gonna swing down. But this is gonna remain where it was. It's gonna try to tilt with it. You don't want it to tilt with it. You tilt it back down there, and then you push this back here. Make sure the audience is looking here. They want to look at the hand. They don't want to look at the slider hand. Then we pull this in like that. As much as beat your old PB and Cybergrind. Hell yes! What are you currently at? Don't ask for my Cybergrind score. Just don't do it. I don't like thinking about it. Maybe that doesn't go in. Maybe that actually can go down and in. Which would be good, actually, because we need it to go down and in. We're about to launch off in that direction, so... I can put in a thing before that that's actually sort of like the follow-along. So all that momentum's going there. 73! Brother, you're just a straight gamer over here, like... ULTRAKILL gamers, they're on something else. I don't know. I do not know how that's possible, but okay. $73. Like, all right. So you enjoying the Mirror Reapers? You having fun with those? For some reason, they decided to put Mirror Reapers in the Cybergrind now. Therefore, ensuring I literally never play Cybergrind ever again. It's kind of low effort, but I actually don't mind how that looks. It's very like, oh, we just squish in like that, but then that actually kind of works. Like, not everything has to be like cool and fancy and thing. I'm not like making everything on my portfolio here. I think I even want to work in the animation industry, I've got to be honest with you. But oh no, what have you done? Whose man's is this? Is it you? Favorite little bastards, little troublemaker. Come on, where are you? Yeah, I knew it was you! Get back there. Ignore the fact that we're breaking physics here. It works to camera, so I don't care. Yeah, sure do love Mirror Reapers. Ah. Think you're having a great run, and then nope, sorry, too bad. We're here to stink up the entire joint. Would you like a cyber grind full of fart clouds? Alright, let's make that easier. That's easier. Oh god, it's the shoulders again. It's you. But you. Oh, right. Okay. And then that needs to be... Gotta go through and clean this up. Oh no, that's a lot of them. Man, I really should have added these to the selection set. Actually, I can just do that, couldn't I? Yeah, I can just do that. Wait. Get those hips out of there. Thank you, Shakira. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I'll just hit those. That'll give me what I need. Violent cyber grind. Oh god. Yep, that's simply too gamer for me, honestly. I play on standard because I have respect for myself. It should be violent. It should be violent. I'm not going to brutal. Good Arvo, everyone. How's everyone going today? How are you going, TK? Everything all good? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? To give you a bit of a recap of what's been going on. We've been smoothing out what we did last stream, so we're up to about there now. And that's what we did like last stream. Yeah. So we're gonna keep going. It's step to spline, so we're taking these steppy boys and then we're making them smooth. Like my brain. And it's turned out surprisingly okay so far. What happened to bro's neck? Piggy, holy shit! I did not expect you to be here. Hey, what's up? I saw the Gayon intro you did. I watched it like this morning. Well, I was like still barely conscious. I was just like, damn. I wish I could cook on multiple things at once instead of dedicating myself to like a year-long thing, like a fool, like an absolute rube. Yeah, it looks really good. I loved the way you animated the falling. Like, I could really feel, like, the velocity in it. It was gorgeous to watch. It's kind of floaty and kind of glidey, but I don't mind that. Actually, I do mind that. I do mind that. I really mind that. Nah, it's kind of... Nah, it's not. It's not right. It's against nature. There's something going on with you. I think that could actually be fixed by just dragging that forward, because in camera space, we just kind of like go back a bit here and then go forward again. So honestly, if I just get my IK and then push that forward in camera space, Like that. How do you finish the animation so quickly and make it come out so good? That is definitely for you, Piggy. That is not for me. These streams are an extremely elaborate way of me coping with the fact that I cannot go fast anymore. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that touchdown is like way too light. It makes no sense for it to be like that. But how am I gonna fix that? I could just fix it by just lifting that up a bit. Or lifting the whole model up and then just changing the arc of the jump to match so that that down like is heavier. But I could also just make it a bit snappier by doing that. And then just adjusting things to match. Like, I don't mind that. That's cool. That's fine. It's just this. The down there just doesn't, it's not hitting. It's not hitting the way it should. I can just cheat it by like kind of messing with the IK and see how I can make that better. Have that good. But yeah, Piggy, how's the V1 V2 thing going? Because I'm really, really eager to see like more stuff on that. That was such a cool project. Okay. No, I don't actually mind that. I think what needs to happen here is that needs to be less further along. So instead of it being fully complete at that moment, it needs to be complete at that moment, because that just, nothing much seems to happen there, and I want that to be like the moment where there's like a lot of action. Like the glide looks nice and majestic and stuff, but we're all about copious amounts of violence here. Oh no. Never mind, whatever I did there, I should not do that. It's that leg. This is the one that needs to change. So that's got to go back. This is very messy. You just make a script before I start animating. The rest of it just come up with as I'm making it. That's still a pretty damn good way of doing it. I mean, if you've got like even a basic script, then you're good. Oh, that's it. There we go. Boom. The kick out. That kind of makes it. Yeah. That's got it. We've done a lot, so it takes less time for me to figure out how to make it like look good. That's like the best part of it. At least up until you have like a crisis where you get like that point where your observation is like way higher than your actual skill. and everything you do looks terrible, before that point, you feel like an actual god. It's just like, I know exactly how to fix up these things. Because I have so much experience and I'm so good at this. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's good. Alright. As I say, practice makes perfect. Yes! You just have to keep doing it. Which is a lesson that I completely forgot about. Oh yeah, that's right. To be good at animation, you have to keep doing it. Whoops. No, I'm pretty sure another 4-year absence will fix everything, don't worry. Okay, alright. Actually, yeah, I really like that. That turned out okay. So let's keep going. Heading into like a fistful of dollar here. I'll clock this guy in the hand. Boom! Literally get beamed. And it's a punch, so things are going to go horribly wrong. And yep, there we go. Very important punch etiquette. Snap every bone in your body. But I honestly might only need to fix that up about it. Like, everything else has turned out surprisingly okay. I'm not... Usually this process is genuine hell, but I don't know what kind of crack they put in Blender 4.0. It is surprisingly very good at figuring out what you want. And then sometimes it's horrible. Yeah, so that's going to come in, that's going to step forward like that. That step down's going to be interesting to watch. Because that's happening fast. That's not bad. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Hang on, hang on. Whoa, okay, alright, okay, that's working. This is a part that I struggled with like last stream though, is like getting into this position here, because I need to get this neck up like that. It's gonna look weird. Because we're taking the momentum from the punch there and then channeling it into a spin around. So we can hit that, oh no. Yeah, so we can hit that, that split shot there. And I've just noticed, what is that? What have you done? No, 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 no. Okay. We're gonna have to, deal with the sins of whatever the hell that is. Because we've swung this way, and now suddenly Body's like, actually I want to go this way. I'm like, I don't think that's possible. The Doctor and Doctor Who. Hi, yes, welcome in. Have I played Fraud yet? I'm getting around to it. There's a lot of irons in the fire right now. Like, I'm working on this, but I'm also working on the other parts of this that I can't show, and I'm working on other things that I also can't really show, as well as working full-time. But I will get around to it, eventually. Because I do want to make some things for Fraud. Fraud's really cool. Oh my god, what happened here? Okay. It's not entirely a disaster. What's this animation for, may I ask? This is what I've been working on for quite some time. This is gonna be my next big fight animation. Since I've wanted to do like a real proper ULTRAKILL fight animation for quite some time. I've been working on this on and off in between spouts of like, you know, figuring out what the hell's going on with my life and like general burnout and things like that. I've been working on this on and off for about 3 years. Halcrass, welcome in! How's your day? How's your night? How are things going? Pybro reference would be good. Well, I actually do make a reference to Pybro in this. There is a direct reference to some of the choreography in Pybro at one point in time. With this project, is everything but the animation finished? You can say that. There's a few things that aren't. The music isn't. Basically, it's the music and animation. Everything else has been sorted out. I just finished layout on the final few scenes that I can't actually show you the progress on. But I'll be able to show stuff on this because this is scene 1, pretty much. So there will be no spoilers. Whoa. Gotta be careful there. Okay, there we go. Every now and then my keyboard's just like, would you like to rotate? We've decided to lock up what your mouse is doing. You're rotating now. Forever. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah. So this map is entirely custom. The animation takes place in the Lust layer. And scene 1 is basically a new area that I built. So it's kind of like, I haven't done that part. I will do that part, probably also on stream. It's sort of like an abandoned strip mall. Because I thought that would be a kind of cool place to do in Lust. And also I just needed a place that was like really, really long and rectangular. Because there'll be choreo that goes like all the way down through here. The mob fight in this has multiple stages. This is just the first stage. And it gets crazy. Like, there's shots in this that is, like, hands down going to be, like, some of the best stuff I've ever animated. Like, I'm so excited to get into, like, what I've figured out and done here. Because, yeah. I have everything all boarded out, but it's storyboarded in Source Filmmaker, hilariously enough. I showed that in, like, the previous stream. But I will show you how I did it. So yeah, I'll just hang on. But yeah, my boarding process is all also in 3D because I can't draw. And it's with Source Filmmaker. It's not that. It's not that. Look, just bear with, okay, look, okay, it's this! What kind of music's gonna be in the short film? Okay, I'll get into that in a little bit, but how I've done it is I have made every single board into a separate shot. So because it's Source Filmmaker, you can just blade a shot, and now this is its own entirely separate thing. Where I can make a guy just kinda, you're like, hey, hi, how you doing, hi. Or move the camera. I'm just gonna focus in on this boy here, there we go. He's saying hello. Will you say hello back? Will you welcome him into the fold? But using just the clip editor, because all of these are their own like separate full 3D scenes and things. Oh shit! Hang on. Ah! Okay, never mind. Oops. Forgot to disable one of the other things there. That's great. That's... I had a bit going. But yeah, okay, so... We're back now. Thank you for the heads up there. But yeah, we got yeah, all of these are their own separate shots because you can just go in and just make that its own separate thing. Go into motion editor, move any of these things, and it's its own fully independent scene. So I can just move around the camera, and it'll be like, okay, that's the camera shot for it. So I actually just went through and sort of like did all these things, and it got a little bit complex. But yeah, it's what we got. Hey. And then this is the shot that we're doing right now. SFM scares me. You work in Blender! SFM is significantly simpler. It doesn't focus on like any of this stuff. It's just like, we just want to make you do animation. This is the only thing that we really care about. Just load in models, load in stuff you got, just have a good time. And it's Source Filmmaker, so like it's got a full like graph editor and everything. Hilariously enough, it's got an easier to work with graph editor than in Blender itself, which is really funny. Because I can make a key, and then if I just want to change like the position X, I can just go to a particular area and I can just... Oh yeah, we're vibing tonight. Today, tonight, whatever time it is, it doesn't matter. The vibe is eternal. Yeah. Oh, Piggy, have you seen like the actual trailer for the for this shot? Because I've done something with a grease pencil that essentially like replicates the art style of the covers and stuff, referring to them as like cross frames, and that will be the first cross frame. So that will be sort of like the bam, like boom, this is the visual identity of the short. And also, it's V1. V1 is like the most fun character to pose like ever. Making an androgynous war machine was an absolutely genius move. Because they're so much fun to work with and pose. But yeah, that's what we've been doing. And that's how we've been doing it. So I have that planned out for the entirety of the first shot, and the second, and the third. So this thing is fully planned out. We just need to do the animation, which is where you guys come in. You get to bear witness. That's gonna be interesting to watch. So we're gonna hit that right there. Whoops. Yeah, let's do that. And then... So that move physically should not make sense. Actually, it kind of does. I just need that fall in there to be more in line with this. So if I bring that across there so there's somewhere for that body weight to fall. And then pull that in closer. Yeah, that's giving me a... yeah, that kind of works now. So that kind of like falls in like that. These are all still layout. This is not final animation. This is not how this is supposed to go. Tufan Kramen? Tufan Kramen, nice to see ya. Welcome in. How's your day? How's your night going? How are things in your life? Howard as well. Hi, hello, welcome. We got 2 clippies. We got 2 simultaneous clippies. Fantastic. That's good. If I ever need some help, I'll let you know. But I'll push you out this way, so we've got a nice sort of roundabout way of going into this dash here. Because this point on from here, we've got 2 projectiles coming in, so V1's going to dash out the way, like so. And then that leg is going to remain exactly the way it is. Let's fix that up so that they don't break any bones. Never use source valves, things mostly weird, but it does have use. Keybinds are weird in Blender. Yes! Yes, you're so correct. Oh my god, thank you. I'm using the industry standard key map right now because I think it's literally the only way I could ever use Blender. Like, I really don't like the way that Blender just kind of has to operate. I just feel like it's just being, like, different for the sake of being different. Like, why is G? Why is G the key to move? Every single other place is like, you know, oh, you got, like, your WER, and that's like, you know, that's move, that's rotate, that's scale, and that's all of them at once, which is also pretty cool. But why this? Why... I should not have to press 4 simultaneous keys to move something 90 degrees to the left. Why did they decide to do that? It doesn't work. I know, I like Heavy Rain as much as the next guy, but like, why would you build an entire 3D software that's just Heavy Rain? I don't want to feel these emotions. I want to work, man. Alright, okay. Let's see how, like, the revising goes. Let's just revise that movement through there. That's going to sink in there. We can probably make that bit better. When you use 3D Max, makes you want to use Blender more and more. Yeah. 3ds Max, I never actually used much of 3ds Max. I was always a Maya boy. I was a source filmmaker, and then I moved into Maya when I was doing stuff professionally. When I did stuff for Valve with Dota, I did that was mostly animated in Maya. Yeah, well, I got to push that down there, so we don't have any sort of like weird like lumpy things going on here. Everything's got to be a smooth, continuous line. Blender uses keybinds for English words. I know it does, but literally nobody else does. Like, even in 3ds Max, it's like the same, right? It's still... You're still using your, like, WER keys, because that's where your hands naturally fall on the keyboard. That's where you're constantly going to be, like, putting them. Also, grab? When everyone else is like, oh yeah, the entire industry is just like, yes, it's called translate. We translate it from location to location. Blender's like, nah, grab. We grab it. We're grabbing here. There's no reason to use 3ds Max anyway. Maya's just more good. Okay, alright, truth nuke. Any input? Because the only thing I've used besides Blender is Maya, and you barely used it. That's fair, because you think Blender is complicated. Maya is like the definition of industry standard, which is essentially a way of saying, it's incredibly user-unfriendly, massively overcomplicated, and all the tutorials cost money. I think that's why, like, Blender was such a huge revolution, because suddenly you did have something that looked just that complex, but you also had like an army of guys who were just like, hey, what's up, guys? Today we're gonna learn how to do something that's really, really goddamn complex, and we're just gonna go in and do it because we're gonna do it. And they all had like Mr. Beast thumbnails and things like that. Before, you're learning Maya, you learned from a guy with Dreamscapes playing in the background, or you learned from the most knowledgeable Indian man in the world somehow operating an industry standard program on his toaster. And that was just the natural way of doing things. This is pretty, you just had to do it that way. Otherwise you had to cough up a ridiculous amount of money. On that back there, I can maybe get a little bit more of a cool line through that. Kind of fault Blender is, you think Blender's perspective, it kind of makes sense from learning, but since only Blender does it and nobody else does, just makes it bad for keybinds. Yeah. I'm thinking when I do eventually get around to having things like channel points and things that people can do to sort of influence the screen or influence like what I'm doing. I'm thinking one of them is I have to be forced to use Blender's normal keybinds for roughly an hour. Because online content is suffering. And that to me is one of the greatest forms of suffering I think I could endure. Okay, and then we got that split shot there. There's nothing for 3ds Max? Yes. Yeah, it's all on Skillshare, unfortunately. Or it's on like some animation course you have to get by being a part of an animation mailing list. A very, very specific one. It's also $140 a session. Okay, I have enough time there to have a little bit of a hold. And I think I'm going to have a hold there because I don't want it to sort of slide into that. I want to have a moment where the audience can pause on that and reflect on what's just happened. I need them to have a moment where they can sit and meditate with V1, who just blew their fucking skulls off. So I hit that, and then we go into that, and that's going to be a fast movement into the dash. I think that's going to work well. I'll just make sure we got keys and everything. Oh no, no, don't key all those. Oh, that was silly of me. All right. No, I don't want. I want to key only what I'm working with. Which are these? I don't think that's correct, Blender. Personally, if I'm going to look at your current efforts in regards to, yes, copy this post, this one right here, yes, do that. Yes, all right, so now we save. That's good. I do need to save. I do need to save. Oh, okay, good catch. Blender's better because they have geonodes. Yes, and you're doing Houdini to do it as well. Yeah, geonodes are ridiculous. Blender scare the absolute pants off the industry, and it's really fun to see. Alright, there we go. That's looking... When I say copy the same pose, I would not like you to turn my boy into spaghetti. Maya can really do the same. They have to make it 100 times harder to understand. Yes. Well, Maya can't do the same. That's where Blender's got them. Is geonodes are essentially Houdini, which is an entirely separate program to anything else. Hang on. Not receiving enough Video. I've just received bad feedback from YouTube about how I'm doing things. Why is that? Okay, maybe I can... I don't really want to do this. They're letting me learn SolidWorks. No! I hope you like Booleans. Do you enjoy the bools? Here is a software that is literally just bools. Doesn't even think I've gone live. I might just be having a little bit of an Australian moment here. Let me just double check to see if I'm having an Australian moment. Let's share. All right, okay. How are we doing? That's my IP address. Never mind, I'm not putting on the screen. Okay. Speed test by ULTRA. Well, that's okay. What are you whinging about? That's fine. 34 megabytes per second. No, we're good. We're laughing. Making a big drama over nothing. Excellent. There we go. See, I told you it was all in your head. It was all a dream. Blender is all in for one example. 3D Max only do 3D models, not video editor, compositor, sound maker, and stuff. Yes. Blender just kind of adds whatever the hell it wants, and it's genuinely amazing to watch. Because they're just taking every single other industry standard program and they're like, we're gonna add that. They're over here like Thanosing. So how have I got that falling? Like that falls that way. And then, ooh, that's not been splined just yet. Let me make sure I've got everything I need. Yeah. If I just bezier those out. Like so, thank you. I'm going to try to figure out how I want that to look. Because I want that to fall in and then just have like a nice little thing. So I'll just continue the motion I've got going. So that's falling in, but as I fall in, this body's sort of tipping back. Because it's like, you know, as it's falling, the energy that, the fall energy from this hasn't necessarily reached these parts of the body just yet. So I'll just make it so that that goes back just a little bit, I said a little bit, and then that also goes back. And then that will be what we do for our hold. It'll just sort of sit like that. And whatever's happening with this hand will continue to happen with this hand. That's going to go up. Because I believe the motion in that is that it's sort of still tracking that way. And then we're going to go into the dash from there. And that's going to be quick. That's actually a huge speed. Maybe I can take that back a little bit. Modeling on SolidWorks is so painful. Yeah. I took one look at it and I was just like, no, sorry, I've been too deeply ingrained. I look at this and all I will see is n-gons. I need to hide the evidence of my eyes and ears. I physically wouldn't be able to do it. I would just see the agony the 3D model is going through if I closed my eyes. Okay, is that what I want? Okay, it is. All right, there's no secret key between that. That's good. Woo, okay. Large snap happen at some point. Why that? Oh, 'cause I hadn't had that selected. Whoopsies. Alright. Then that'll work. I hit them with that. Yeah, so pause, boom. Bam, boom. Just enough time to linger on it, and then we go straight into the next. Because it's all well and good to have just like, you know, an absolute tornado of chaos and death, but you got to be able to see the chaos and death. Hey, you collectively said I did something for Dota. Yes, you did. That was like more of a community thing, and also on socials. I don't think a lot of people on YouTube actually like saw it or knew it was me, but in their True Sight documentaries, I did a bit of that. So when they do the animation for the moments in the game, I was working with Eric, one of the other people I know from Source Filmmaker. We worked on Leak together. I was working for his company as sort of like as a remote worker of sorts. And we actually ended up doing contract work for Valve. Because I think we did something kind of cool with one of the tournaments, and then Valve saw us, and they were like, can you do the environments for the release of our new hero, Snapfire? Because we don't really have the time or effort to do it, and also if you have any animators, they can also work on it as well. So I worked on the Snapfire trailer. That was the first thing. And then from there we were brought on for True Sight, and I think I did like it's like the 5-man Ravage. That was the first one I did. Then there was the opening ceremony for TI-10, where they showed like the bits in the like some of like the biggest moments in international history and stuff like that. And possibly the biggest flex I can ever say is that during that point in time, they assigned out of all of them, one of the moments was the $6 million Echo Slam from like TI-5. They assigned that to me. So Valve trusted me with doing the official, like, big cinematic version of one of the most important moments in Dota history. So I was shitting myself a little bit, but I think I did an okay job. I put a ton of effort into it. But it was good fun to work on. And then there was the True Sight after that, TI-10. And that was also fun to work on. There's one sequence that occurs with Nature's Prophet and Puck. That was my shot. Then I actually did almost everything in that shot. I did the camera animation, so I did the layout and the initial like blockout stuff in Maya. And then I did all the animation on all the characters. The one thing I didn't do, I think, with the trees and the birds, that was Anomade who did that. Because Anomade was also working for Lost Cosmonauts at the time. And yeah, so that was 12 seconds of animation that was really, really fun to do, really cool to do, and burnt me out completely for multiple years. Someone took my Pyro edit and made an edit on TikTok? Wait, seriously? Okay, nah, okay. We gotta post the Sigma Pyro edit. That's amazing. Is it like it's like a full Fonk edit? Please tell me it's like a Fonk edit. I got that wrong. That actually needs to go back through there, because I didn't look at the pose that's supposed to happen directly afterwards. Which is that one. Do you play Dota 2 or just Animator? I don't think you do, because you seem to have a decent life! No, I'm dog shit at Dota. I played enough to like get the training wheels off and figure out what I'm doing with a MOBA, but I cannot play Dota for the life of me. I'm trying to make that up by attempting to learn how to play Deadlock. Someone use one of your videos for a Skibbity Toilet X ULTRAKILL power scaling edit! Okay, but was it high diff or low diff? And which one did they use? Why is that? Is that not? Like, that is way too fast. What's going on there? What is that? No! Get back in line. It's not even you! What? Who is it? Which one of you did this? Like, you should not move that much in one singular frame. That's crazy. Could it be you? It's not. Alright, who done it? Wasn't you. Oh yeah, that'll do it. Okay, so... That's what I mean, the computer gets things wrong. Line's gotta be as nice as possible. That prevents things from going horribly wrong. It's gotta be a flow. High diff. Okay, good, good. Wait, no. Wait, that's not good. What do you mean? What did... What did the... I can't remember the name of the Skibbity Toilet creator, but he's also a source filmmaker boy, so I got respect for him. What kind of feats is these... Are these... What are they doing over there? How are they high diffing? Something like that it makes the edit right when it jumps down and protects the spot. Oh, right. Honestly, you don't need to know power scaling terms. It is better if you don't. I also kinda... I'm not sure if I even got that one right, but I don't really care. I'm too employed for these things, to be honest. Oh no. Oopsies, I might need to go... That's not correct. Does that look okay though, at the very least? No, because I step a bit too far forward there. That leg's now fully off the ground. That's not how any of that should work. Yeah, I'll just get you back there. Then possibly bring that back there, just so we've got a little bit more to fall into there. And then let's not do that. Don't be rash. And then we push into it. Just kind of sit into it. Need to sit on the rhythm. I don't like the way that sits. We're not going to sit, actually. Stand up. Stand proud. You're strong. Yeah, whatever you're doing there, stop doing it immediately. It's dumb and silly. And I can bring that back. Okay, so it's mid-diff, which means that it's, who won? Did V1 win, or... Like, we know if we know who wins, then we can sort of figure out the mystery of Gen Alpha together. I think you're too much about the animation. Just put a keyframe, move a keyframe, and then done. Yeah, look, I used to be like that, and then I gained the accursed knowledge of doing this way too much. Man, there's something about that just looks wrong. No, there's something wrong here. Something is not right. I don't actually like that at all. I think we've actually got just enough there that we don't even need this. So I'm going to remove that hold and just go straight into the next pose. Which looks a bit silly, but we'll see how. Oh yeah, that's enough to tell. That's enough to tell that you hit the split shot. And every character wanted a DBZ fight. Yes. It's just that's just the curse of the Dragon Ball people. They absolutely must know if Goku can solo. He has like incredible feats. He can move faster than light. He can move faster than the thing that's faster than light. He can do all these amazing things. He's incredibly powerful. Only for the series itself to be like, Goku in his ultimate god form, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, loses to a robot that farts. Power scaling is like playing imaginary with that annoying kid. Yes, it literally is! It literally is! Oh yeah? Well, my character has Infinity +1 armor that beats your Infinity armor. Maybe I can leave that arm up for a little bit longer, because I don't like how quickly it just kind of falls down there. So I'll kind of bring it across. Do that. And then we'll do something horrible to your skull. Never mind. Whatever that is, don't... Oh, I don't like this. No, I can just pull this down, right? Yeah, okay. Can we get something that looks somewhat like an arm position that makes sense? Yeah, but now we have to be really careful. I'm gonna make that bang a little bit more pronounced. That goes back like that. And then that kind of gives us enough time to recover and not have a weird arm movement like that. Because I need that to hold itself in space. Just so it really sells like the boom, it sells the pose. I don't want things to like move, to fluctuate too much. Like, boom, yeah, that kind of works. Like it still needs to look powerful. What's my favorite animated JoJo fights? Yes, they are, because they especially in the later parts, where the powers are just insane. I have this sure win ability that manifests itself as a singular Lego house. If you look at it for exactly 30 seconds and then say the name of who I am, snakes will manifest physically around you. They're like, damn, I don't know how we're going to be able to beat this one. Before it was just like, oh, there's a fire guy, there's a guy who punch hard, we stop time, and then it just turns into that. I actually need to keep up with what's happening in JoJo, because I'm really far behind on the JoJo lands. And I love the concept of what they're trying to do with it, what Araki's trying to do with it. I like the fact that a main character has a stand that is not just a punch ghost. And I had to seriously sit down and think about how that power works, because it's still, I'm like, wait, hang on, what? Alright, that itself should even out, and no, it didn't. Okay, thank you. It's the stand users outsmarting each other like over and over in completely unexpected ways. Yes! Yeah, the punching only really happens when they've assured complete victory. Because usually the powers are so complex and so ridiculous that it takes a while before we actually get to the punching part. It's usually just them trying to get in range of each other to punch each other. Ooh, okay, nice. I'll take it, I'll take it, I'll take it. Its animation isn't lore accurate, by the way. Didn't go to Cybergrind for a long time. Visual was chopped. Maybe so. Probably does need to stay a little bit longer in the hyperbolic time chamber. But also, I did the choreography for this before the rocket launcher even came out. So there's no rocket launcher in this animation. There will be in like the next one, if I ever do like another big ultra fight, which I probably will. Since I've got incentive to not get carried away and procrastinate, because I'm going to be like showing this to people live. Next one I'm thinking of doing would be a Gabriel. And that will have like the full amount of everything. Or I could do a Sisyphus. A Sisyphus might be fun. Because I had to show P2 as well. But no, that's looking good. Alright, so we'll come in here, boom. Yeah, just checking how it's going so far. Okay, okay. Actually making good time here. Like, this is pretty much almost full polish. Or like, I would accept this as like good enough. And it's only been like, what, like 3 hours? I might actually be able to get this whole thing splined out, which is good, because I got a massive day today. Like, after this, I got so many social commitments. I don't know how I'm gonna live. But this part's so cool. I'm so excited for this. Sometimes I pose out stuff with V1 and I'm just like, oh god, yeah, I gotta make that real. Like, we're dashing and flicking coins at the same time here. So I got them doing this cross-arm thing. And, the aura! You just love to see it. That itself is like a... Like, every single angle of, like... Sometimes you just pose V1 out in some way, and, like, every single angle just looks like it could be its own piece of art. Like, I love the design of this character so much. Do you think by the time you finish this, ULTRAKILL will actually be finished? I'm not holding out on it. Fraud did take a while, but Fraud is incredible. And required a lot of things. Treachery will probably take less time, so... Honestly, yeah. At least I'll be able to, like, show what I'm doing. So I have way more professional understanding of stuff because I've never said the word spline when talking about my videos. Well, that's just what these are. I think the actual professional term for it is tangents, or like this is like the handles are tangents or something like that. I don't really care. I just call them splines because I'm Australian. We call everything the same thing. Is it fries? Is it crisps? Is it all these things? No, it's chips, mate. It's all just chips. Everywhere you look. That's a spline. Yeah, it's a step spline. But isn't a spline like the same thing? But a spline is like straight. Why is it? Nah, it's a spline. They've always been splines. Don't know what you're talking about. Don't think ULTRAKILL will be finished before this year. It needs like one more year to be properly finished. Oh, that's the case, then I'll be fine. Because this is absolutely releasing this year. I'm going to try to see if I can get everything done by about... May. I'm thinking May, honestly. I'm thinking it's going to be May. That's at like the absolute minimum. Assuming I don't like lock in like crazy and get a whole bunch of stuff done. Oops. I'll make sure these are selected. And we go in here, and then that's the next split shot. Then we got the land there. Like, damn. If I have this all done by like 3, I might actually start animating the husks and stuff. This is crazy. Yeah, there's like P3 in the encore levels as well, so yeah. ULTRAKILL will be finished, but like there's still so much stuff that I can tell Hikita wants to do. Like Hikita being just like, yes, P2 is actually going to be the most challenging level. I'm not going to make anything that's more challenging than that. I was just kidding, by the way. Here's the encore levels, they're worse. Like, brother, come on. I'm a mortal man. I physically cannot see what's going on. Even when I play like through, when I like attempt to play through P2, it just feels like I'm listening to like the German Amish speech on repeat. It's just like human beings were not meant to be able to do this. Oh no, oh no. What is you doing? What is you doing, girl? What's happening? What is... No. You stop. You stop that now. Whatever's going on there, that just needs to not happen. And then that tilts back. Why? Who? Who amongst you? Such a lust for revenge. Alright. Yeah. Just straighten those out and see if that fixes everything, because sometimes it normally just does. Whatever you're doing there, stop it. I did not sign you up for this kind of fun. That's better. Actually, doesn't look like too bad of a dash, you know? Golden Arm would be understandable if he dropped it because he hasn't done anything with it. That's true. We're not entirely sure what he's doing with the arms or what the next one's going to be. I'm still hoping for a sword. Like, a proper melee arm would go crazy. Like, you give me melee options, the combo mads we'll get out of that. That's just art. Levels are finished at the end of 8.4 in Secret Room. So everyone as low as I am. But if that's the case, it's definitely 2 years. Yes. I don't know what the Secret Room for 8.4 is going to be, but it'll be fun. My march comes across my type, but I talk like an average American Gen Z person. That's fine, because you are an average American Gen Z person. There's no need to shy away from that. That's just who you were made to be at this point in time in your life. You won't sound like that maybe in the future, but for now, you do. I have tried my absolute hardest to suppress the fact that I'm very much a millennial. V2 come back? V2 return? Dude, I hope. I want V2 to come back. V2 Prime. V2 Prime when? I'm not sure what I'm touching up here, but this has actually kind of worked out just okay. Like, I like the way that the legs are sort of naturally folding back like that. Hell yeah, baby. Okay, I was just... I'm proud of that pose. It looks cool. Yeah, I'll get a full selection on that one. And then let's spline you in. And whatever the heck is going on here, that needs to stop. You gotta come out further. And in like that, so we've got like a sort of whip around, like the arm's like whipping around. If I do that, then it means that when I pull out from here, it's gone from, it's following like a natural sort of line through there. That's gonna look really cool. Oh, wait, no, the arm's doing some weird stuff here. What's going on? I only just noticed it there, but that's going up. I don't think you should be doing that. Then that should probably come out. So we've got a little bit more visual on like this, the pistol swinging around and into the fire. The neck's doing something strange. What are you doing? What is that? Why? Get back in your hole. There we go. I probably need to take a closer look at that. I was born in 1990. Sorry, they're just having a big sip of my prune juice. Doctors recommended that I have prune juice. My bones are starting to fail on me. I know I'm 30. I don't like thinking about it. But it's fine, you know, as they say, you know, 30 is the new 20. I'm fine, I'm good. I'm not in a midlife crisis right now. I'm doing good. I haven't bought a motorcycle. I'm not going to. No, it would be cool to buy a motor. I'm not going to buy a motor. I'm doing that to myself. Oh, that's gone completely off the line. Hey, what's up? It's me, TTMR. Did that guy just turn into sand? There we go. Bring that back. Thank you. Something going on with his head, man. What's... Stop messing with my head, man. It's you. Oh no, it's definitely you. Get back down there. Gotta buy a motorcycle, you have to go with it full speed and you gotta live it exactly. We don't half-ass these things, man. We don't half-ass these things yet. We know what we want here, hell yeah. You gotta live life to the extreme, man. You gotta really go for it. You gotta be cranking that hog. That's what we do in 2026. We do the year we crank our hogs. Okay, good fire there, good fire there. Ooh, there's something strange. Something is not right. Yeah, there's... Yeah, you see that? You see that? There's a point in time right there. Sometimes, I do feel sometimes like I'm the teacher from The Incredibles being just like... There! Right there! Right! Just as he goes past that hill. He slows down. But yeah, what I saw there is the fact that we went fast, and then a brief slow, and then more fast. Which makes no sense because we're currently hurtling through the sky. It keeps happening, hang on. Yeah, there's a point in time where it's kind of... It's this. Wait, is that it? Yeah, it is. It's that. That needs to come out further. So I've actually got... I just need to take that bit and bring it back to there. Be retired before Layer 9 comes out. I really hope not. I've got a very promising IRL career and it's going well. I'm a good little worker boy. Don't listen to what anyone else says. The dolly camera rig, yes, this thing is so good. I love this thing. This made animation so much easier. It made all of like the real crazy camera stuff that I do in this way easier, but it was still a bit of a nightmare because all camera animation is a nightmare. It is the part that everyone like, it's just like, oh no, camera stuff's like easy. I can do camera stuff. No, you can't. The camera will get you. It will make things look immediately unbelievable if you don't do it well enough. Actually, I think I know what's going on there. Is that is doing a slow out, and I don't need it to do that because we're still kind of moving. So if I hit linear on that, is that gonna fix everything? Didn't do anything. Thank you. All right. Okay, well, we'll make it Bezier again, and then we just change that to vector. Wow, what is that? What is that mallet? Something strange. Like that lean happens. There's some rotation here that's just not fun or nice. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. I'll just even it out. I'll make it. Is it you? Actually, what the hell is that? Never mind. Okay, I think it's this actually. What is that? Okay, that's fine. And that's okay. And that's okay now, I think. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, this is a lot of this is a lot of what that part of the process looks like. It looks like this. It's going through and finding the computer has utterly beefed your lines, just made an absolute shit show of it. Just like, and then just going back through and going, no. Yeah, clanker. You do this. This is why AI will never replace us. Because, brother, what is that? That's good enough for you? Out of here with that bullshit. Now it's the legs. Okay. Now the issue is the fact the legs are coming in a bit too soon and then pushing out again. Like, they're just really pushing. What the hell? Hey, yo, no. Damn, that was me. I thought that was okay. Wait, no, I didn't. That's got to be another thing from another... It is. It's because I selected all of those and moved them, and then they weren't keyed on that, so that's going to cause them to do that. So if I actually remove those, is that one I should remove? No, got it. Its job market is messed up as it is in Australia here. Kinda a little bit. It's slightly better, mostly because I can't really comment on what's happening in America. I shouldn't comment on what's happening in America. I don't live in America, so I can't really do that. But I just kind of sit there as an observer and go, God damn, dudes. You guys having fun? Your country's run by a bunch of 12-year-olds. Not getting political on main here, though. Not allowing that to happen. Alright. Yeah, they do just come in, like, way too much. I'll just wipe that, see what happens. What the? Okay, no. Yes, you. Also, hi Donovan! Hi, sorry, Yeah, I'm in the middle of like the step to spline stage. So you were there for the watching the block out stage. Now we're taking that and making it smooth. Or attempting to. Yeah, that comes in like way too much. So now it's mostly just going through these individual bits and trying to make them all fit together coherently, because sometimes when you change something from being stepped to splined, it breaks everything. Which has kind of happened here a little bit, but not excessively. So I don't mind that. Okay, fine. I will try some things here. Do a little bit of messing around. Wish I could stay for longer this stream. Keep up the good work. Good to see you, Code Red. I hope you had a nice time. Hope you enjoyed your time. Have a wonderful day or night or whatever it is. I kind of like the fact that legs like they kind of like push out like that when we do get to the shot there. It's just like, you know, the whole body is like pushing itself into that gunshot. But also I think I did it way too much, so I'll just retract it a little bit. Make sure that's consistent with that. Yeah, that's consistent with that. Okay. You stop it. And then that should not be that way. You're still blocked. Don't forget. Yeah. Crispy chicken nugget. Good to see you. Unfortunately, you had to bear witness to me attempting to get stream chat working. That was a fun time. YouTuber only allows you to test out your stream widgets and stuff if you're actually live and public, which is just fantastic. I'm really glad they made that decision. So a few people had to bear witness to that, and I was just like, no, you didn't see this. You didn't see this. Nothing happened here. Nothing happened here. You're fine. Drogistan, yes. Do I still animate SFM? Sorry, it's been... There's a lot of stuff going on. Do I still animate in SFM? I kind of do. It depends. I'll mostly animate in Blender if there's like bigger projects and things. But honestly, I still love Source Filmmaker, and I love Source 2's Source Filmmaker. I cannot wait until Deadlock gets like its actual proper Source Filmmaker release, because I'm going to be on that like constantly. The favorite ULTRAKILL boss? My favorite is still... Yeah, my favorite's still 4-4 V2. Like, that's such a fun fight. I feel like when I get good enough and I'm not like struggling, it's probably going to be Minos, because I love the flow of the Minos fight. Earth Mover. Earth Mover is just such a cool idea. Bull worse, yeah, Bull's worse because it's destroyed so many of my P rank runs. Whenever I think I finally got it. No, you don't. Oh, I'll talk about fun stuff now. How long have you been working on this again? I have been working on this seriously and also less seriously for the better part of about 2 years or 3 years. Like, I did the choreography before the weapon update came out, to give you a bit of a hint about how long I've been working on this. How many hours do I have on ULTRAKILL? Not enough. I've been spending more time like animating and doing like stuff about ULTRAKILL than actually playing it. Because the weapon update completely ruined my binds! I love the rocket launcher. I love the concept of the rocket launcher. Why did it have to replace the top slot? Because I used scroll wheel in order to sort of like hit ricochet, ultra ricochet combos. And now it's completely beefed those. I've gotten significantly worse at the game ever since the game updated and continued to update. I need to actually physically learn how to play it again. Why did I do that? Let's select that. $160 hours considered too little. No. Honestly, that's just a sign that you live a normal life and things are good in your life. I'll actually check to see how much I've got on ULTRAKILL. Yeah, I got 108 hours. And despite that, I still haven't, like, you know... I still haven't reached P2. And I think my top cyber grind is, like, 40. Tell me your keybinds. I actually don't use too many things that are different from like regular keybinds. I don't do the Doom Eternal thing because I'm not doing that to a game that I genuinely like. I'm not going to do some crazy thing like, I'm going to bind this weapon to V, and then this specific one is bound to C. I have X over here. Over here I have one on Y. On tab, on left tab, I have a switch that goes to between this variant and this variant as well. And then on my mouse, I've replaced the scroll wheel with move forward. It's like, I'm not doing that shit to myself! I just need to figure out how to actually hit 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then maybe I'll be sane again. Because reaching up and doing that is just like, that's a big hand movement. It's like, I can't figure out how people actually want to do that or can do that. I always use scroll wheel for these things. I think the one bind that I do have that's different is that on my mouse, I've bound Whiplash to a different key, because I use that all the time. I use it all the time in combos. Because it's essentially like... Whiplashing feels like, it feels like jump cancelling in Devil May Cry. Okay, that's not bad. Let me hit that. Let me hit that real quick. Hey girl, alright, I don't like the fast in there, but I don't think I have a choice. Getting towards the very end of this now, damn. The first bit of this fully splined out. Oh, did that select all of them? Okay, no I didn't. Let's go with that. Still a bit there that I missed. I have missed one. It's a bit slow, but actually I don't mind it. Sometimes you can just disobey gravity, and it's fine. You don't need to worry about that. Maybe if I do that... That's actually fixed all of it. Never mind, okay, that's fine. I'm totally cool with that. Like the dash and then slow in and then that actually works really well. I didn't need to do anything. I just pressed the make good button. Alright, okay, the gutter tank's really fun to fight against. I can't, honestly. I can't. The gutter tanks completely ruined all of my momentum. I always have to like prioritize them first because I don't find them fun to fight against. But I think that's just a skill issue. Alright, Piggy, let's see the meat. Okay. The 2 mouse side buttons for pistol and shotgun. Okay, oh, the side buttons. Alright, okay, fine. Okay. Nail, rail, and rocket are Q, E, and 2. Interesting. What kind of combos are you doing? Like, what's your basic playstyle? Like, what's your bread and butter combos? Because I think you should actually format those in a way that actually just makes it more comfortable to play the way you want to. Because ULTRAKILL is fantastic in terms of being a game where everyone's got their own distinct playstyle and nothing's like forced or you have to play in a certain way to really enjoy the game. That's stepping through that and then pushing that. Hit that. I'll just do a little bit more. I'll just push the camera out a bit more and then slide that way. You blame Fortnite for making you use messed up keybinds. Ugh. Because yeah, you gotta put like all the building stuff in place. Damn, why did that actually turn out well? Okay, I have no idea how that actually turned out good, if I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm gonna hazard a guess at why I'm actually kinda okay with this, the fact that the body like naturally slides into that, and also like this arm in particular is just sort of like, I don't know, it follows like the line really well. I can't explain why this looks good. Sometimes it just does. Sometimes you don't even need to know. Sometimes you're just blessed by animation, Jesus. The spirit of James Baxter flows through your veins at a very brief point in time. But that's really gonna need like an in-between, because that launching into that is silly. Is the music too loud? I can bring it down a bit more. Apparently it was like way too loud earlier. But yes. Favorite fraud level? I can't answer this. When you fight with V2 for 2 to 3 hours and constantly losing and dying, then it's playthrough you realize you can just parry. Yes! I did this! I was struggling against V2 in like Claire de Lune V2 forever. Like, getting my ass kicked over and over and over again. And then I just... What if I just knocked everything back at him? And then P-ranked him? Okay, damn. Alright. I'm actually pretty happy with that. I just need to do this. This part here. And I can probably just do that by pushing in like this. Do I need the neck to go out? No, I don't. Just get that back there. No, we do not need that. And I just have that be the one. But we don't do that. Might actually make use of one thing I did build into this rig that for some reason I have not used at all. Reverse IK. And then I don't need you to do that just yet. Like, you still kind of haven't moved technically, so we'll just have you here on the ground. And I'll just do this. Ah, that's why. You suddenly like do that. Normally you would absolutely like jump with the leg that's in front. But when I storyboarded it, I wanted this pose. And I couldn't get it if it was like launching off the other leg, so sometimes you're just the architect of your own suffering, and that's just the way the world has to work. Okay, no, damn, go over here. Go, please. Alright, and that will actually spend a decent amount of time getting over to there. What is that? Oh, because I've done that. Alright. Yeah, you come back there. I think maybe what I can do is pull that up so it's still traveling. Still has a little bit of force applied to it. A little bit of motion. A little bit of swag. We'll see how that looks. Which clips of me playing the people they say leave room for little room for error switching guns. That's good. That's good. And if you don't zoom around as much, that's also pretty good. I mean, that means you're like, you know, keeping your space measured, and you're actually more focused on positioning than anything else, which is actually very good. Hikita saying, learn to parry, asshole. Yeah. Here's a great learning curve. Yes, I agree, TK. Yeah. V2 is fun to speedrun too. Yeah, because the speedrun for V2 is ridiculous. I think Sparky, who is also working on this project, Sparky has a ridiculous time on V2. I think it's like 5 or 6 seconds or something like that. It's something ridiculous. I'd agreed V2 more than Minos, now I hate him. Yes, I know, but like, oh, the thing about like V2 is that all of his attacks are counterable, including the stuff he does with the nail gun, because you can just shoot down a magnet and that counters that. Like, it really is just like a battle between how well do you really understand the mechanics? Can you counter what you can actually do? Well, that's what makes it good. But yeah. I just got lucky, I just kept throwing coins, yeah. Beat second game first try. God damn! Okay, that is impressive. I suppose if you're like more parry focused, it's definitely a lot easier. Whoop. Got a bit of a hitch there, but... Yo, okay. I think if I just make that... Yeah, that needs to... Because they're going to be in a different point in time on the frame. Yeah, let me just grab what I've got here. And just pull you forward a bit. So you're traveling a little bit further and a little bit better. And then I don't want any sort of slowdown on you, so... we go into vector. You have no choice but to be vector. Ooh. There we go. Now let me check. Yeah, oh, the shoot across there, sick. Some of us just have brain rot for specific bosses, you just can't do anything to them. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I'm kinda terrified of fighting Sisyphus Prime. I know I kinda gotta. If I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm a true ultra killer and stuff like that, but man, I really don't wanna. That's not gonna be a fun time, but I gotta keep them coming. Will VFX be done after a shot or after the full animation has been done? I'm gonna do VFX last, because I'll be possibly getting another member of the team involved with VFX. I think Sparky's more in charge of VFX than I am. Or, like, I've entrusted VFX to them because they want to do it more than I do. Because Sparky's just, like, one of those crazy type people who will just put their mind to something, and the second they do, they just become extremely good at it. Like, that dude just woke up one day and was just like, I want to port a whole bunch of ULTRAKILL stuff to Devil May Cry 5. And then just did it. Just learned how to do it, and then just did it. He also did the same thing with, like, the Half-Life Alex models. That's the Gordon Freeman replacement for Nero, I think, is him. He's just sick like that. I don't know what to say. Yeah. Nah, that's looking cool. Alright. And it's coming up on 3 hours or so. So what I might do next time is do the final polish on this, and then do like all the individual animation on these guys. They're not going to be blocked in, because God knows I'm not doing that to myself. I'm not going to be doing a blocking pass on them. That's all going to be straight ahead, so it'll be fast and very furious. But yeah, that is, I got a lot of stuff I need to do today. There's a lot of social commitments I gotta do. I'm going to survive it somehow. That's just what we'd be doing. But yeah, this is what we did today or tonight. I'll probably also, yeah, show like the VFX stuff and how I'm doing it. I need to still make like the death orbs that the husks are firing. But yes, this is what we accomplished, this is what we made. And next time around we'll be doing even more of it. Until it's done. That's the plan. Oh man, that okay. Maybe he zoom. Maybe they zoom a little too much. Yeah, they're just moving like a. They just go like just translate across through there. Never mind. All right, there will be one more thing. Just one more thing. Ooh. I don't know about that. My wife, you see. She's very into these sorts of things. Says I'm not playing properly. I don't know. I play to enjoy things. You would have to agree, wouldn't you? Oh, I don't know about that. Just one more thing. You are aware about the fact that I saw that the pyro fella, he took a number of shots, didn't he? He took like 4 shots. With the enforcer too. That one does extra damage, and oh, I don't know about that one. Isn't it true that the pyro has 175 health? Well, yeah, yes, I suppose it is. I suppose it is true. Yes, I thought so. I'll get out of your hair. All right. I think ULTRAKILL will end. V1 just straight up dies. V1 could straight up die, but they got to go through the encore first, and they're also like Hell's favorite plaything. So I don't think they're gonna die. I think Hell's gonna try to keep them around for as long as possible. Might just be off screen. V1 actually just dies of old age. Like me. Wait. Hang on. Hang on. And then... need y'all back. The stream is ending. Do I know a good way to end a stream? No. So we're doing this. But you do get to be here. Hello. But yes, it's bye. And YouTube's saying that everything's going not smoothly anymore, so that's just fine. Doesn't matter anyway, because the stream's over. I hope you had a lovely time. Thank you for stopping by. This has been another Animation Saturday, or Friday, or wherever. But yes, my name is TTMR. Thank you for stopping by. It's been lovely. It's been a real